A record 3.3 million Americans filed for unemployment last week as the coronavirus shut down large parts of the economy. And now some immigration experts are floating the idea that the president should close the borders to all immigrants seeking work in the U.S. until the unemployment rate comes down. One America's John Hines has this report.
Christopher Hajec of the Immigration Reform Law Institute tells One America News that President Trump would be well within his rights as president to suspend the entry of all aliens seeking employment in the U.S. in the case of excessively high unemployment as a result of the economic shutdown caused by the spread of the coronavirus.
I think one other thing he should consider when this is over, if there's a lot of unemployment, is suspending the entry of aliens, of all aliens, at least those seeking work here, until every American who needs work has a job. He has the total authority to do that. When the provision giving him that authority was passed, and it says all aliens there, he can suspend the entry of all aliens in the national interest.
Suspend the entry of all aliens, says Hajec, who points out the president's power is based on legislation authored by Pennsylvania Democrat Francis Walter in 1952 at the height of the Cold War. The law reads in part, quote, whenever the president finds the entry of any aliens would be detrimental to the U.S., he may, by proclamation, suspend the entry of aliens for such period as he may deem necessary, end quote. And if the unemployment rate inches up towards 20% or more, a distinct possibility, according to a recent Goldman Sachs report, such an action could indeed become necessary.
One of the sponsors of the bill said that because there might come a time of very high unemployment, the president should be able to restrict aliens, all aliens coming into the country until that unemployment situation is better. Basically, he can do this if he thinks it's a good idea in the national interest, and the Supreme Court has recently upheld that power.
And indeed, Representative Walter presciently wrote for the Congressional Record in 1952, quote, when there is an outbreak of an epidemic in some country, suppose we have a period of great unemployment, it is advisable at such times to permit the president to say that for a certain time we are not going to aggravate that situation, end quote.
And here, if he was suspending entry for all aliens until the unemployment crisis was over, there would be no basis for any constitutional challenge. The whole world would be treated equally. He can suspend the entry of any classes of aliens he chooses, and he's not really restricted by the Constitution. The Constitution creates rights for citizens of the United States. It doesn't create rights for foreigners outside of our borders.
Hajec also points out that the president's authority to suspend alien entry into the U.S. was also essentially affirmed in the 2018 Supreme Court case Trump versus Hawaii. John Hines, One America News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.